Not too happy with Diablo 2 Resurrected, not too happy with the damn queue on the servers, not too happy with the freaking damn, can't play no LAN, not too happy we can't play no mods because no one's going to make mods for the game because you can't play on LAN. It's a big clusterfuck is what Blizzard does. That's what Blizzard does best these days. The team Vicarious Visions, who made Diablo 2 Resurrected because Blizzard themselves are incompetent, can't do it themselves. They bought them, they merged them, then they brought the chief lady over there, put her in co-leader of the company. She lasted 3 months. She says, get the fuck out of that damn dump hole. It's come to a point now where Blizzard should just be disbanded, honestly, and you just call it Activision. It should be called Diablo of Duty. Yeah, Diablo of Duty should be the new series. You just put Diablo into Warzone and be done with it. But we can still go back and they can ruin all of the new games they want because you can go back and play the old ones. And thankfully, there's still people who still believe in gameplay over graphics, and so I was able to go through, and when I'm vindictive, I was hyped to play the OG Diablo 2 again. Feeling pretty pissed off, and so I'm like, well, let's go see what some of these other mods are, like Path of Diablo and Project Diablo 2. I've heard about them, I haven't played them, and so we opted for Project Diablo 2, and me and my friend Eddie have been playing through it, and it's pretty damn fun. It's pretty awesome. As you can see from the screen at the bottom, they've added some new stuff, some quality of life stuff. First of all, widescreen support. You've also got the Super Saiyan freaking filters, and you can choose different high resolution filters. And so you could play the game in 4K, air quotation marks, not really 4K, if you have a big ass filter on it. And so it's still locked at about 25 frames a second. But you can sit there and play all this stuff. Nice filters. There's what's called also a loot filter. So stupid shit don't like gold, don't drop. They're going to add in auto gold pickup the way Resurrected is. Media and XL already has auto gold pickup, and so it shouldn't be too much problem for the added in. But this nice little loot filter that you can customize and pick from a lot of people's default filters. Just like, I don't want to see this cracked sash. I don't want to see this freaking key. I don't want to see this damn chipped emerald or whatever that's going to suck balls, and why is this filling my screen up with crap? And so they just filters the shit out. When it pops out, as far as the game concerned, as far as what you see on the screen, it's not even there. You don't even hear the cling of the little clicks or whatever it is. And so you can you can set that up the way you want to. There's a lot of customization there. If you press 7 on the number pad on your keyboard, you'll get a little XP meter, which is down there on the center right. It tells you your XP per second. It tells you exactly, gives you a number value about how good or how bad you are, Brian. Brian, you're always number 1 for me. Actually, he's number 2. We ain't gonna tell him though. We ain't gonna tell you that out loud, Brian. No. We love you. But tons of these quality of life things, stuff like if you're a Boazon, you gotta go to town every 5 minutes and keep a whole freaking bunch of damn arrows. So you know what? You just buy 1 pack of arrows and put it in there, and you got unlimited arrows. You got unlimited javelins. You got unlimited thing of throwing knives and all of the other stupid crap that you have to wait to replenish or whatever normally. No, we're just going to give you all that crap. They have tried their best to try to balance the melee classes, because the way these games typically work is you blow up the whole fucking screen or you suck. If you can't clear the whole screen out within a second or two, then you're incompetent. If you have to go on one guy while the sorceress comes and drops like here a blizzard on freaking like 10 of them, then you're not playing right. And so they've given the melee characters all melee weapons and all melee moves do splash damage. So it's about the size, I would say, of a sorceress meteor drop. So it's like several character spots in front of you and several on the side of you. But maybe about if you could grid the game out like a 9-character grid in front of you, and so that helps a lot, and it makes your mercenary much better. And it helps. I've not deeply played the melee characters, but I've definitely wanted to try one. It's like I'm not playing no damn werebear. He's gonna suck. It's like just So it's the characters who had trouble if you play melee, such as werewolves, freaking Zill Paladins and stuff, should be getting a lot of buzz. Man, I'm half tempted to damn throw in the dang actually Pokey Spears on, because I've always wanted that character to be viable, and she just always sucked. But they've also rebalanced some skills, and the first thing they really kind of done to that was nerf some what you like to would call the 1-point wonders. So teleport has had its casting changed to the lightning cast when the sorcerer does chain lightning. So it's a little slower. So you need more faster cast speed to catch up and compromise for that. They've given like the two-handed stabs, like high level, like 50% cast radius. If you can get a decent one, I still haven't found a good staff. To try to balance that out, and also when you're teleporting, you'll have a 50% reduction in your damage for a second. And you'll see when she teleports, she has a little whirly in there. That gives you an attitude that she has damage reduction until she gets that out. And there's a lot of stuff like that because there's a lot of things that were so freaking good with like just 1 or 2 points, like say amp damage, that it just it's like every necromancer had amp damage, and so there was no choice whether not to run amp damage or not. And it's like I'm not even running static field because they've changed the way static field works on a sorceress, where you can only get to a maximum of 20% points of damage to a hell monster, and then otherwise the real point of it now is to lower lightning resistance. You can lower the enemy's lightning resistance, and then do more damage that way. There's a lot of stuff like that. Some of it's probably a little bit too nerfy, and some of it isn't. Some of them are making harder selections. So before, you might have, if you was a necromancer, you might have ran definitely a go home, and then you max skeletons or whatever. But now the option is like, well, if you max go him and go him mastery, you could get like 5 go hims. So maybe you don't run with any fucking skeletons as a necromancer. These kind of choices they made in to try to balance the game, and every 4 months on their little local servers, which are not Battlenet servers, that they're local servers that they do themselves. They do a new season and they try to balance something out, and there's a lot of cool stuff they brought back, like taking away some of the cooldowns that were used to try to just keep the buggy ass freaking OG Diablo 2 and not glide wrappers, trying to keep it from exploding because it would explode because it couldn't handle all the shit that was on the screen. Come here, Brian, you little shit. Don't be rubbing up on all my stuff, buddy. But they got rid of the cooldown, so now you can freaking, there's no cooldown on freaking the orb no more. So you can just drop the damn freaking frozen orb, 5,000 damn bullets all over the screen, driving other players nuts so they can't see anything. That's all back, man. That's like OG damn pre Lord of Destruction damn stuff you can do there. And tons of these cool things, all of these little loot filters and quality of life changes and attempts to rebalance the game while still fundamentally having the same drop rates and stuff like that. So like your high rank runes are still, you ain't gonna see that shit until you run like 10,000 damn runs. Or I actually got a win force. They default drop rate for players, if you have just you on your screen, is actually players 5, and it goes up to something near players 9 if you get max amount of players. So it has like this so it's not the problem with regular vanilla just OG Diablo 2 is that if you're players 1 and you're playing players 1, people got that on the console right now. That's the way you're forced to play, honestly, because your queues ain't working. You can't even get online. So you're forced to play players 1, and you're clicking shit, and nothing's happening. And you're able to kill enemies, but you're not getting treasure. You're not getting power. And so you got to run the same run 5,000 times. A lot of that's been alleviated here. And this is something that Blizzard's never going to do. They don't have the balls to rebalance their game. I would definitely stop by and play Resurrected had they actually do a new balance change or they add a new character. They're not going to do none of that shit. And if they do, it'll freaking Diablo 4 will be out before they even get that crap going on. But overall, I've had a lot of fun with Project Diablo, and I'm excited to play more. I just play LAN. I'm not interested in playing in servers, so I'm never hardly ever see a damn rune unless I dupe that shit. We ain't gonna see no burr or job runes, Brian. It'll be alright. So I do recommend this mod. It's pretty damn easy. It actually runs on top of whatever damn Diablo 2 you got. So Eddie's playing straight off the CD 1.07. and I'm playing 1.13, and Project Diablo don't give a fuck. It just plays on top of it. You can play with Plug Y or Plug E or whatever you want to call it, so that you can single player. You can have your super duper stash and your shared stash, and your respec whenever you want to. And I've obviously I respect 50,000 times a trout to do crazy builds that they've added in, or the new moves like combustion and you know the ice blast shotgun. And I've only really played sorceress right now, but I'm interested in playing some of the other characters. And I love the little, like, after you're done and you've pretty much beat the game, you're not forced to just simply run cows and Chaos Sanctuary and Veil runs all the time. They've added some more level 85 areas, but particularly they've added these things called maps, which is I've never played it on Path of Exile, but it's basically like post-game maps. They're filled with a bunch of harder enemies, and then you got to fight some kind of super insane boss at the end. And that's been pretty fun right now. Now it looks like I could spend a lot of time there. Eddie just dreads it each time. It's like, we're gonna be stuck in the map for an hour and a half. I'm like, well, Eddie, you gotta kill me. We gotta kill these damn things. We gotta murder them. And so it's been a blast. It's brought me back to, because normally I play like the super crazy mods like Zael and stuff like that. It's been a blast to come back and kind of play the OG shit, or at least somewhat a facsimile, rebalanced facsimile. And they've tried to change some of the unused items that would always be, bypassed. They've tried to balance them out. And it's between that and the nerfs, the stuff like nerf and teleport, Enigma, changing it to a blink thing that has like a recharge thing. So you, all of these things to try to keep it so you're not using the exact same build and the exact same thing that all the 700 other thousand wizards or necros are using. And overall, I think they're getting there. It's a long way. There'll be some shit wars. I just want to use lightning, and I still think it sucks, honestly, compared to ice. But that's where we are right now as far as Project Diablo is concerned. I know that there's another balanced ladder coming out soon. Right now I've played through part 3, but I'm hyped to play it, and it looks like every 4 months we'll get some kind of balance change. Come back in and take a look. Oh, and I forgot what to mention is like they have what's called basically a charm stash. Half your stash is allocated for charms, and while the half of it is for the rest of the shit. So you don't have to sit there as a player and debate about, well, how many charms I want in my inventory, and I want to be able to pick up one freaking item and then fit it into my cube or whatever it is. So you don't have to worry about that stuff like that. These little quality of life changes add a lot to the game, a lot more than you think, and it's easy to recommend this game with its ancient ass graphics over Diablo 2 Resurrected, where when you get to the end, you're pretty much doing bell runs, hashtag the end, or Pendle. I ain't even fought Pendle, Brian. We don't even need to fight Pendle no more. And I've got to win Force without Pendle's help. Fuck Pendle. Like and subscribe and all that shit. All paws up for this.